I commissioned Mini owner and video producer Eric Newland with Hybrid Moon to produce a series of short films to give you a taste of what happens when a group of enthusiastic enthusiasts come together to celebrate the most influential car of all time. Join us as we take you on an incredible journey to the largest mini meeting in the world.
Enjoy your stay here in London or your final destination.
Eric, this is not a Mini Cooper!
Jeremy, it's the Korean Mini Cooper!
Dude!
It's all your budget could allow!
Bro, I wouldn't let you ride in a Hyundai. What are you doing to me, man? I want a Mini Cooper. Oh, there it is. Okay, you're good. Hey, you're recording.
I hope you enjoy this short film series, and if you like what you are watching, please share with your friends or like the videos with a thumbs up. So our very first stop is a old British pub, the Royal British Standard pub, with some fish and chips, a pint, just down the street from Paddy Hopkirk's house. How cool is that? This place is neat.
All right, Eric, now what are we doing?
Well, this morning we're going to go out to the British Motor Museum, where we're going to be hunting down the history of early minis.
You brought your VIN number, right?
I did bring my VIN number. Absolutely. And then later on we'll be meeting up with the curator of the museum,
Stephen Laing.
Yep. And then also we're going to be obviously talking with the gentleman in charge of the archives.
Richard.
Absolutely. So you ready for this?
I am. I'm really excited about it.
In this first video, we will take you on a behind-the-scenes exploration of the British Motor Heritage Museum's wondrous reading and archive room and introduce you to the enigmatic Richard Bacchus. At the British Motor Heritage Museum, we're in the Archive Center, and Eric's over there looking at the VIN numbers of the earliest minis making their way over to North America, and I'm looking at the sales brochures, which I find super fascinating. What you learning, Eric?
I found the first Mini sent to US via New York.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, you learned all that.
I learned all that.
I'm here with Richard Bacchus, and out of the 20 probably or more heritage certificates I've ordered over the years, this is the guy's signature on the bottom of the form, and I'm so thrilled to meet you, Richard. Thank you.
Pleasure, Jeremy.
Thank you for having us here at the reading room, which is where the archives are.
Yeah.
This is where you will get the information, and this is the man you see to get it. Now, how long have you been here, Richard?
Since about 1742. No, I mean, it's nigh on 20 years I've been doing this.
Wow, no wonder your name's been on all those heritage certificates.
So, you know, I sort of like first came here Anders Klausanger was doing it. I'm sure lots of people know his name. You know, prolific author. And yeah, when Anders moved over to do Jaguar Heritage, they asked me to take on the certificates here. So I've been doing it since then.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for having us today. Tell us about how the ledgers are now preserved, and are they scanned and put into the computer? What's going on?
Right. Okay. Well, records come in various forms. The ones you've been looking at are the original ledgers, the Austin Longbridge ledgers for the minis. Now, obviously, they're becoming very fragile with age. So we're undertaking a preservation program where the ledgers are being sent off. They're being digitally scanned. The pages are being preserved, treated. The original ledgers, when finished, are going into the archive store where they're locked away effectively. But people now can still have access to all the information through a digital scan. But of course, that means that the ledgers will be preserved for posterity, which is ultimately what our primary focus is.
Is it easier to find information this way as well?
It depends how savvy you are on computers. Obviously, if you're computer literate and comfortable, it's no problem at all. I mean, some people do. You know, can't I have a look at the old? You know, and there is something special about opening the original book. You know,
the smell.
But you know, when you explain the situation of if you know, we have to try and keep these record surviving. And so, yeah, most people are understanding.
If you have a Mini built from 1959 to roughly where do the records start to get fuzzy?
Yeah, we start to get fuzzy towards the sort of into the late 80s. They become more and more Spartan. I mean, really, Mini records only contain a lot of information in Mark I production and the early Mark II. As you go through Mark II, they started to computerize the records at Longbridge. The amount of information was reduced. As you get into Mark III, literally all you have is a chassis number and a date of build. So if people need, say, a certificate for legal reasons like registration, we can still do a certificate, but it'll just contain very little information. In the sort of late 70s, they start to record a bit more information again. And then, yeah, when you get into the 1980s, effectively the records start to die out. The problem came about because Rover Group and then MG Rover didn't pass on the records to us. And so when MG Rover collapsed in 2005, they went, yeah. And so yes, unfortunately, it's ironic we can do a certificate for the very first Mini ever produced that was delivered to Mr. Isigonis, but we can't.
I saw that, it was in Speedwell Blue, by the way.
Yeah. But we can't do one for the last Mini,
Yeah.
you know, which is ironic.
And if you would like to get your very own heritage certificate on your classic Mini Cooper and get this guy's signature at the bottom of that, go to the britishmotormuseum.co.uk and fill in your VIN number and get your very own heritage certificate.
Stay tuned. In our next episode, we will continue our tour of the British Motor Museum. We'll introduce you to the curator, Stephen Laing, and we'll check out one of the world's most famous Minis. If you like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our videos.